It seems like every 6 months, I always have to do this type of videos where I talk about Landwey. If you actually go on YouTube now and type Landwey, you'd see the results. I have more than five, more than 5 videos. And I've been talking about Landwey a lot. I've been talking about them for years, many, many years. And they actually were like the premier company, like the first company I actually was introduced to when I was introduced to real estate, my mentor in real estate. So the people that we knew were P1, and I tried to actually start real estate with P1 products, but it was just a disaster. They were asking us to pay like 60K. I'll pay you 60K to be able to sell your product. Madness. You know, there's a lot of madness. So, recently lots of people were telling me, people have been commenting on old videos, say, oh, you need to do, somebody say you need to do a rejoinder, that this company is a fraud, this company is a scam. Another person said, dissociate yourself from this company, they are this thing, they are frauds, they are not delivering investors houses and properties. But it's very, very important for me to build this background, because Landwey came into the game, and Landwey, I think then in the industry, people were giving like maybe 10% commission, if you're even lucky, 15%. But Landwey came and boom, they started giving realtors 20% commission. Everybody rushed to start marketing Landwey products. Hit after hit after hit. Sold out properties in the Bejuleki. Sold out after sold out after sold out. They were giving cars as gifts. At some point, people were even winning houses as commission. Like literally, if you meet some targets. And then it was the golden years of our economy. Then, I think this was just, a little after 2015. 2015, I think 2019, 2015. And Landwey was such a darling. And when they went into development, they introduced staged homes. And it was not something that you see in the Bejuleki axis. You see mostly maybe Ikoyi and the likes. So, Urban Prime was a hit. Back to back, sold out. That place went for a bush to a developed community. In fact, I can say that literally they are the ones that opened up Abraham Adesanya, Landwey. They did all of that. And, to see them come from such a sweetheart brand of a few years ago where everybody wanted to be associated with them, to what it is now that people are telling me don't associate yourself with Landwey. Oh, Landwey is having delivery issues. It's every single year. I feel like it calls for some introspection and a cautionary tale on the fact that success can make people very, very cocky. Success can literally make people very, very cocky, because Wale is a great guy. Wale is the CEO and MD of. And I follow him on Instagram. I really like his ideology. I really like how he thinks, and it's kind of like an exposed person, because I did a video where I was trolling P1, because literally back then the kind of marketing that we had in real estate is that, especially in Ibejuleki, somebody will literally be carrying a phone like this and say, this is the gatehouse, and you just see laterite on the floor, you just see a block, the gatehouse hasn't been built up, you were just seeing nonsense. But this guy started doing like the whole videography stuff, the whole FPV drones, first person view drone videography, such like nice. And this kind of like, he spent a lot of money. He invested literally in the content and invested in that. And this is somebody that was exposed. This is somebody that is wanting to change things and, make your products, what you're selling, more attractive. And, but I do believe that when they started getting a lot of success, this is my personal opinion, and I feel like we can do that now because right now in Nigeria, Right now in Nigeria, it seems like CEOs are arresting, are trying to go after people that do honest reviews. Truth of the matter is that I've spoken about Landwey for a very long while. They've never ever come for me. They've never ever. I mean, there was once that I did an ad where I was actually referencing what Wale said, and somebody said, "Oh, we had to cancel to Wale, and this thing is defamation." I said, "How is it defamation when it is online? You had an interview with Wale, and I'm referencing that interview, and you say I'm defaming you." Anyways, but they've never actually come and said, "Okay, why are you?" So I think he's a chill guy, So, but then again, let me see this thing. It's important to know that once you're a public company, you actually have a right. A citizen, everybody has a right to talk about you. And I don't know where the foolishness from Nigerians came that once you're talking about somebody, whether you're criticizing, analyzing, there's hate, or you want to bring somebody down, you better unlearn that stupid mentality. Anyways, going back, I'm trying very hard to stay topic. Yeah. So success can make people really, really cocky. So after all of these successes that Landwey did, the first thing they now started to do was they tried to, this nonsense I told you that P1 did, Landwey actually started to do it. So in their mind, okay, realtors, you guys are selling a lot and we are a big brand. So they actually started telling realtors that, okay, there are different tiers of your realtor stuff, your realtorship, or whatever they call it. So there's the free one, then there's the gold, and there's the platinum. And then with the platinum, the stuff is higher. It's kind of like network marketing, multi-level marketing. And that was so crazy because, first of all, why would somebody be paying you to sell your property? So that happened. People kind of complained, but then it was still the same thing. If you want to sell for them and you get a buyer, all you just have to do, I think it was really cheap then, about 25k that you pay, and it was for a year. It was a subscription service for a year. So that was the first one. And then the second year, they now tried to remove all the realtor groups, and they tried to register realtors directly under them. And that did not go well because Lagos State, there are lots of realtor groups that have tens of thousands of realtors under them. And it was such a huge fiasco. People said, we made you, we worked for you, and now you want to kind of, they started the Alvin Gray. This is very, very important because I believe that Landwey came to a point where they felt like they were established enough as a brand that they did not really need people, and when you get to that point, I feel like that's just hubris speaking, where you feel like you're a strong enough brand that the people that brought you where you were the people, somehow you're bigger than them, something about biting the hand that fed you. So they actually cut off from all realtor groups. If you want to be a realtor, you want to work with them, you go to their site, you register, they'll give you a code, they'll give you a card, and all of that. I'm still in their group, by the way, and yeah. Let me just say that I don't believe that Landwey is a scam, a bad company. A good company can have bad products. It happens all the time in Lagos, when you don't do your due diligence or when you don't do things right. But that was the first. Like I said, success can make you really, really cocky. And the second thing that I felt, he just went on a buying spree. I feel like at some point, Landwey had more than 10 products in the market. From mainland, foreshore, they had the Hockley, they had like 2 or 3 in Shangotedo, even 5. They had Westwood Extension. They had one was it development as well. A housing development. They had a lot of stuff. They had, even in Eco Atlantic, now I've never even heard the latest in Eco Atlantic. Eco Atlantic, there is billions of naira, They just opened all, they had in Awoya, you had the Milton. Yeah. So much, you bit more than you can chew. Because at the end of the day, every project has a lifetime, and if you stretch yourself too thin with different, Wale said that there are different funding sources for all of them, but obviously you can see the case that now that they've not, the apartments as well, the apartments in Shango Tedo as well, they had almost 5 properties in just Shango Tedo alone. They also went to the mainland, and most of these properties, they were selling houses, and the thing about it is that now maybe they miscalculated, maybe they misjudged a lot about the economy, because I know in Buhari's time things were went bad a lot in a very short time, but not as fast as in Tinubu's regime. So I feel like you'll be able to plan to see your funding sources, how able to finish up. Now, there's somebody I follow called Duro Bond, and he said he saw this whole fuel subsidy and everything happening, and they're able to assess the risk and do things like buying blocks, and buying a block molder, molding the blocks down, and there's lots of things you could have done, to kind of anticipate that either the currency, construction, or what have you. But to the best of my knowledge, as at last year, I know that many of their houses had not been delivered. I know that we're talking with some people in Reforms, and even FIJ, they did a blockbuster interview, blockbusters expose on them, and it's online. You can actually go check it out. But the truth of the matter is that some things you cannot plan for, but that's common sense. And I will not give Landwey a pass because Ned Homes, Ned Okonkwo, they have different properties all around Lagos. And they've delivered. I've not heard any story that they did not deliver, or they are only, I've not heard any story about him. They have a property, they finish. So even the fact that you had so many properties is not even an excuse. And the wife of Ned, which is I think the CEO of their company, recently posted about how construction costs had made things, difficult for developers. And Landwey, they also posted that. My problem with that is this: you do not get to ride on the agenda of things were bad. We could not see how things were going, because Wale supported lots of developers, Lagos developers supported Sanwo-Olu and Tinubu. And you can't tell me, as an exposed person, as a person that thinks, Ali did stuff in Harvard as well. He recently did a program in Harvard. You're well traveled, and everything that is, you felt that their manifesto. I think Lagos does a lot about, there's a lot of kissing the ring in Lagos, where people just feel like they have to cower, they have to bow down. Sometimes I'll just see in his status, Alaji, congratulations, get a grip, get a grip of yourself. It just seems like you're just sucking up. I literally saw one time, I saw this guy, what's his name? Sujimoto, in Sheyi Tinubu's comments and say, welcome back. I think before Tinubu actually came, what did Daddy bring for us? So you supported these people, and then you have to have worked with data and seen historically. Before Buhari came, that dollar was at 180, it jumped to 300 almost in 1 year. And before he left, he went to 700, and he did not plan for it. I don't think at that level you get to blame anybody. So like I said, hubris, arrogance of success, and if it's not the cockiness of success, what would make a real estate company price Ekpe like Lekki? The least price you can get in the Simi Lagos is 100,000 naira per square meters. So if you're getting 30 square meters, if you're getting 300 square meters, you're paying 30 million naira for land in Ekpe. If you're getting 600 square meters, you're paying 660 million for Ekpe land. You know, and that's the list though. That's the standard. I think there is there's premium. I think premium is up to 300 or 400,000. Wale said that he was trying to get funding for Landwey in the beginning. He was willing to literally give a huge percentage of 5 million. He didn't get it, but then he struggled and he raised it up. When you have an idea and people say it's not going to succeed, and against all odds you make it succeed, there's a kind of an inherent bias in you that is a self-reinforcing thing in you that feels that you are always right. And so when another opportunity that you can learn or you can adapt, your past victories literally tell you, oh, I'm right and what I'm doing makes sense. And you don't have anybody that could tell you the truth, because bad move after bad move, you know, it's who advised you to cut away realtors? Veritasi, that's really doing well right now. Veritasi sold out sold out a lot of their properties. Kamba Wall, Veritasi is Itunu as well. They made lots of sales in Itunu. And before, Landwey would have that corridor where Matthew Ashimolowo, Macarius, Landwey is the only, like, I would not say major realtor that's not in that corridor. Amen Estate is in that corridor. Veritas is in that corridor. Macarius is in that corridor. AY, I don't know if AY Homes, Xylos Homes, everybody's in that corridor. Landwey is not in that corridor. The Landwey of before would have been in that corridor. You know, giving you advice, don't work until today. All of these people, they still work with realtors. They still work with, I know Pastor Matthew severed from some realtor. I hope he doesn't told that same line, TBH. He severed from some realtor groups last year. Overpricing pricing your stuff in a way that doesn't reflect market realities. I was talking about Ned Okonkwo Homes. Literally, they have one of the cheapest homes in Lekki. Most people are pricing 60 million for one bed. Their own is like still 45 million in Orchard Road. So my own thoughts in it is that people should be humble in success, and you should also try to, if you have good ideas and if you have radical ideas, you should also have to take feedback. And when the feedback says, okay, this thing doesn't really make much sense, you should be able to change it. And also, developers should plan for the future. Do your proper risk assessment and say, okay, if I'm going to be collecting money, I believe that collecting money from clients can be very, very intoxicating. And there was a lot of inflows back then, and maybe literally a client last week was begging me, that was telling Ned Homes that, because they increased their price to 45 million. I have 40 million. Let me just pay this 40 million. Stand on your ground and say, okay, if this is not going to work, it's not going to work. Do your sensitivity analysis, do your project analysis, viability report, and see if you're going to make money from this project. And it will also determine the pricing. Although some people say they actually paid fully and they still didn't get their house. But I honestly wish, I hope I don't have to come and do this video again in 6 months and say, oh, what's happening to Landwey? Why do I think that things, they're able to meet investors at the point of their need, and people either get their refunds or get their houses or get their whatever they paid for. Can you like, can you share, can you subscribe? I had to weigh into this. Okay, thanks everyone for watching.